welcome back to the channel. Like I told you before, my next build kit review would be with that metallic red Ford Fairlane, and well, here she is. I got this car from Brazilian eBay. It was listed as a complete build-up, and I was needing some small parts to restore an older build of mine, and well, I ended buying. It was the right price, but when the car arrived, I didn't have the nerve to actually take it apart. It was brush painted in blue here, and it was spray painted in white here in the middle. But the door jambs and the engine bay were all messed up with overspray from the white that was painted after the blue had been painted. And the car was missing some parts, and I knew that. It was missing the stock tail lights that I had plenty and still have plenty on my parts box, and it was missing the entire front bumper. What I ended doing was trying to just restore it, installing a parts box front bumper and installing a pair of tail lights I had. I kept the car that way for about a week. I wasn't happy about the brush on paint, so I decided to strip it, and I strip it initially with brake fluid, with .4 brake fluid, but it didn't work. Well, the original paint was acrylic on the bottom part, and the brush strokes were not very noticeable. You would just notice the brush strokes if you took the car up close and really look at it. I suppose it was Testors or Pactra acrylic paint, and that came off alright and came off easy. The problem was the white. The white was a hot automotive paint that actually ate its way through the acrylic, because the body was first painted blue, and kind of crazed the plastic a little bit, so it didn't want to come out. The car kept a good part of the white paint even after a week in brake fluid. So I discovered on a forum from a guy called Bill. I don't know if he wants me to say his full name, but his name is Bill, and he taught me to use acetone to strip paint that nothing else was stripping. At first I was scared of the thinking of using acetone on styrene plastic, but the trick was that the acetone was thinned with water. You should get a pure acetone that's not that hard to find, and mix it with water at a proportion of about 25% water and 75% pure acetone. Well, you take then a small part of the kit and put it inside. Leave it for a day. If nothing happens to that little part, you have the right combination, because it depends on the brand of the acetone. I discovered that if that little plastic part got a little crazed, you add a little more water, and from the acetone I discovered that 25% water is the key. You can leave a body inside the acetone for a full month and it won't be harmed at all. But it will strip paint like if there is no tomorrow. Even Tamiya spray paint, that's a lacquer, it will strip in a matter of hours. All I had to do then was to put this body inside the acetone, and in 2 days all that white was gone, and I was very pleased to see the crazing was not very deep and the body was perfect. So I decided to go to a route I go sometimes, that is to build an early 60s custom car, and that's what I did. The rear bumper chrome was shot, so I foiled the rear bumper entirely, and this rear bumper was foiled with my homemade foil. I used this little chrome accent here to give it kind of a remembrance of a 55 Ford, and this is not a 55 Ford piece. This is actually a customizing panel that came along with AMT's 63 Ford Galaxy. Also installed the custom tail lights that come with the Fairlane kit, and spotlights and antennas from my parts box. And here up front I cut from the Meteor grill that comes with those kits, I cut the emblem and glued on top of the stock grill. I shaved the hood emblem, and I used separate front seats. The separate front seats are from the Fairlane kit, and I painted the interior white with Umbro paint enamel, and I'm not very satisfied with this white because it got a little yellowish. The carpeting and the seats were covered with velour paper in red wine color. The center console is for this very kit. I have about 10 of those in my parts box, so I just painted it white, and that chrome piece you see on top of the console, they come on AMT's 64 Impala, and what I did was to use 2 of those little parts that go on the back of the custom seats on the Impala kit. I used 2 as the cover of my console. I also used a custom 3 gauges set of instruments there on the panel. The The engine is almost stock. It's just painted gold with a aftermarket air filter and valve covers. This pin striping is from the decal sheet of a newer issue of this kit by AMT, and the other side's not very detailed. I just made it a little more presentable by adding some gold paint and detailing some things. The steering is not functional because one of the spindles was broken, so it's not possible on this car. The paint I used here was Tamiya Mica Red over a silver base, and I will include at the end of the video a little slideshow of how the model was before, when I got it first restored, installing the parts that were missing, and then when it was being customized, that I have a few pictures of. All in all, I think it was a good move, because I kind of like the looks of this car as a custom. Well guys, thanks very much for watching, and up to the slideshow. Thanks.